Guys, how's it going? Today, I'm gonna see if I have indeed made a mistake. I might even admit that I was wrong. And it's not about the fact that I'm always right. No, by no means. But in this case, I would have to say I was wrong about the TD Bank. And this is something that I've never done before. It would shatter my ego to realize that I was wrong about a big five bank. So let's take a look. So I did find it on the TD website about 3 days ago when it came out. But it's funny because this news release, when I try to go to this page, it just takes me to the regular stories page. And I'm not sure why. I'm a little bit confused. Like, why would they take this story off that's quite positive and innovative? So anyways, luckily there are a lot more sources out there. One of them being Inside Holton here. There's Yahoo Finance. Let's take a look. TD Visa credit card customers will be the first in Canada to use virtual card numbers through Google as a payment option on Google Chrome. So what does that mean for you? For me, it doesn't really mean anything because, first of all, I don't think I have a single TD card, which may be my loss, but let's take a look. So Toronto, April 21st, 2026. Today, TD Bank Group is pleased to announce the availability of virtual card numbers through Google as a payment option for online shopping on Google Chrome and in-app shopping. This makes TD the first Canadian financial institution where TD Visa credit card holders will have the option to make online purchases without sharing their payment card details with the use of virtual card numbers going through Google Chrome. If you've seen the video I made about the Wise card, like formerly TransferWise, they have had this feature for a very, very long time. But I'm just so surprised that it wasn't, again, you always expect someone like Wealthsimple or even a Cube, Tangerine, something you don't expect it from the big five bank. Even if it was from their subsidiary, sure, but it took me absolutely by surprise. Is TD actually looking out for the consumers, or is it just trying to catch up? Well, I'm not so sure. I don't think there is an actual insidious reason, but I don't know. What I'm trying to understand if they get paid for every time they mention Google. Like, there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, there is 4. Tremendous affinity for Google, 5, 6. Okay, only 6 times. My bad. In 3 little paragraphs. I'm just trying to figure out why it has to necessarily be through Google and whether it's different from what Wise is offering right now. So let's take a look. If we just, let's take a little Google with me. And I'm seeing the AI overview here about virtual card numbers through Google Improve Online Security. But again, it's coming from this TD website and the TD announcement. It's not actually, it does not seem like a Google native service that they're making partnership with, multiple banks. Let's see. Everything here is about Google. Interesting, but let's get back to it. So virtual card numbers through Google are a safer way to pay online or in app. It's just one click. And this is absolutely correct. As I mentioned before, if it's a sketchy website and you're worried, and even if it's not a sketchy website, even if it's just a regular website that can, in theory, get their credit card, get their data stolen at some point, it's generally a good practice unless it's one of the really big companies like Amazon, Shopify, WordPress developers that actually implement the payments themselves. You gotta be a little bit sketched out by those. And that's where I would use the virtual card. So when you make a purchase, the browser/app replaces your physical card number with a unique virtual card number. When you check out, the virtual number hides your personal payment card details from the merchant and helps to protect you against fraud. As much as I am a big hater of the big five banks, I think this is really great. Fraud is as rampant as ever. And, with AI coming out and everything, with AI getting better and cybersecurity field kind of staying the same or getting more and more automated by, people who use AI, perhaps it's not such a bad thing. Our goal is to increase security in the payment ecosystem by removing the need for customers to share credit card information online. This capability is another one of the many ways TD card holders in Canada can have payment solutions to meet their evolving needs. As I mentioned, as much of a hater as I am, it does seem like it's a really cool feature. This collaboration with TD marks an important step forward in driving innovation in the Canadian payment landscape. Bringing the security and convenience of virtual cards to Chrome and Android users is a testament to our shared commitment to provide Canadians with cutting-edge payment solutions. So, of course, once again, it seems like it's very much Google-oriented, and this is not necessarily something I 100% understand. If all that means is you just need to have a Chrome browser running to use this feature, okay, I guess that's reasonable. I guess they want more people to just keep using their browser and their search engine, and so they get more ads. But again, what's gonna happen if I'm using Edge or Mozilla or Brave? Does that just not gonna let me use those virtual cards. If that's the case, I find it a very odd choice. And of course, I had to go to Reddit. I did find this post from 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, from May 12th, 2022, talking about virtual cards in Canada. Are there any options right now? And so here he's saying, I basically want this feature from RBC, but my bank TD doesn't have it, and setting up and then balancing multiple accounts across banks just for one feature sounds like a pain. As for why the feature is attractive, I hate the idea of giving my credit card details to some poorly run website for some unique item. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. You can't just buy everything off Amazon and eBay and having them lose my information later. Again, you can't control that. And yeah, the smaller the website, the less the security usually. I'd much rather have the ability to close off that interaction for the small shops that don't do PayPal or similar. I was really excited for the PayPal key, but they suddenly canceled it and never had it available in Canada in the first place. Are there any good options? I just want to not worry about this. And look, so first of all, this was in 2022. I would like to see when Wise actually introduced their cards. So let's take a look. Actually, don't know if they will be mentioning that. Probably not. Let's see. When released. That's much better. Okay, so it doesn't actually say when it was released, but obviously my understanding is now it's kind of well known that it's one of those features, but it doesn't look like anybody actually had an answer for him. So unfortunately, there are no other real option for you to hide your subscription site purchases. All right. Wise offers a prepaid Visa where you can create, destroy virtual cards attached to that account. Oh, okay. So my bad. I'm not gonna cut this, me going and looking. Okay, Wise actually had this going even in 2022, which kind of makes sense. I feel like that's when I got my card. Maybe it was 2023. So I'm not sure why that's less good as a solution. Seems clunky to keep padding the account, but I suppose it won't actually cost much to use. Yeah, interesting. I was wondering, because even if you wanted to get the RBC card for the future, you couldn't. It's only a feature of their business credit cards. And this is what I've been wondering first, because he's mentioned, hey, I want this card, but none of the banks but RBC do it. But in the news article we just read, it clearly said that TD is a revolutionary, that TD is the first in Canada to use virtual card numbers. Anyways, clearly there's a need to do this. And before that, I think TransferWise, Wise was really the only provider who did this. So this is great. I will not be using TD probably for this, but if you are a TD client, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's actually very rare of them not doing something for the new clients where they have all these really great offers if you sign up for them and they give you an iPad, and actually doing something for the existing clients as well, which is, I guess, this feature. I don't know how many details are there on it yet, and I don't know why they removed the article from their own website. That doesn't quite make sense. And something interesting, it seems like somebody has actually noticed this 4 months ago. Has Google virtual cards, ? Yeah, here they were saying, I was on wallet.google.com saving my card for autofill and saw a turn on virtual card prompt, so I selected it. When I was buying something in Chrome, I noticed a new virtual card option to choose in my autofill list. I selected it, sent an SMS code, and then it populated a random number and CVC different from my actual card, and the payment still went through. Not sure how that works, but feels way safer. Can't find anything on Google or TD site. Anyone else seeing this? So it's actually very interesting. Again, this is coming from 4 months ago, from December 12th, 2025. This is a recent update from Chrome. Again, no idea what's going on. Likely your card has been enabled to be used on Google Pay for tap to pay. Again, yeah, 2 days ago, looks like they just officially announced it. But yeah, it's very funny. This guy did catch TD testing something on the low, as he said. Anyways, it's another website, fintech.ca, and they kind of rehash the same ideas. But I do believe that beyond the immediate user benefit, which we have talked about, the launch signals increasing competition along Canadian financial institutions to modernize digital payments. And this is very true. I feel like Canada, unfortunately, is a little bit behind. I mean, I keep saying that anytime that I have to pay off my credit card with a bill payment, it doesn't make sense to me that it takes 3 business days for one node to get to another that actually takes split second to get there. And it's not like a human is verifying it or anything. So everything is done automatically. It's just a standard wait of, 2-3 business days. Things like this, of course, take forever to get fixed. Canada does take some time to keep up when it comes to, a lot of finance stuff. It's very heavily regulated, hence it's very slow. I mean, we had to pay $10 to buy even a single stock or ETF just 10 years ago. I remember when I was looking into this 10 years ago, TD Thinkorswim was the only platform where you could do the trading, and every trade would have to be $10. But anyways, I'm not here to complain about Canadian payment systems. It's good that things are actually happening. And I wonder if that has to do with the fact that TD is largely also affiliated with the US, where virtual cards are a lot more popular, or whether they're just this good and this kind to us, regular people. It hurts me to admit that I was wrong about TD when I said that they're one of the 5 behemoths. Is that what you call it, a behemoth? I think that's what I'm thinking of. Looking very creepy. But yes, one of the 5 behemoths of finance that move at a very slow rate of innovation. And if we're going to see anything, we're going to see it from a small fintech or an established fintech like Wealthsimple, Questrade. I was wrong about TD having no innovation at all and not contributing to this kind of forward thinking in any way possible and just increasing their fees. Well, I mean, they are just like the other banks, mostly just increase their fees and chill, offer subpar products that include credit cards, checking accounts that you have to pay to keep your money in them. But I understand that there is place for companies like this. Anyways, to end it on a good note, I'm happy that, again, big 5 banks are actually slowly waking up or trying to innovate and do something that's actually helpful for the consumer instead of setting barriers for the competitors. So yeah, what do you guys think? Are you surprised that this kind of feature comes from the TD Bank? It would have been the only way I would have been more surprised if it came from RBC. Because to me, it goes RBC, TD, I would say Scotia, BMO, CIBC in terms of, how innovative they are. But yes, so I'm really shocked that TD actually released something like this, which is great for the consumer. I'm sure soon enough the other banks will follow pretty quickly. Usually it takes a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years here, every single bank will have this as a selling feature and it won't be a selling feature anymore because every single bank has this. Similar to free Interactive transfers, like from, 10 years ago when they used to charge $2. Do you remember that? That was ridiculous. Anyways, what do you guys think? Are you excited for stuff like this to come? Are you also concerned about cybersecurity and your cards getting leaked somewhere? Or are you just happy to tag along for the ride? Anyways, let me know and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Just happy to tag along for the ride. Anyways, let me know and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.